Hi, my name is Joshua Browder and I'm the founder of DoNotPay, which is the world's first robot lawyer. So my father is Putin's #1 enemy, which is very scary, but he's very brave and I'm very proud of him. My grandfather was head of maths at Princeton and Chicago, and then my great-grandfather was the head of the US Communist Party. And so I don't think he would approve of any of this Silicon Valley stuff, but I think he would approve of helping fight big corporations. I don't feel much pressure from it. I think that helping fight parking ticket bureaucrats is nowhere near the level of what they've been up to, so I think I've got a long way to go. We have this big sandwich chain in the UK called Pret A Manger, and I just decided to take all of their graphics and make a Pret A Manger iPhone app and call it the official Pret A Manger iPhone app. The problem with that is obviously it's always protected by copyright, and that caused a lot of challenges, getting letters from their lawyers and stuff. And it ultimately resolved itself. I gave them the app for a very small amount of money, and there are aspects of it that are still in use to this day. The standards were so low to do a good iPhone app back in those days that it actually got featured by Apple. They assumed it was like a legit app with all the copyrights, and they was like, what's hot section of the app? Now you have to do something really amazing to be featured by Apple. One day DoNotPay will get featured again. We're trying to put all lawyers out of business so that the average person doesn't even need to go see a lawyer. And obviously when you do that, you create a lot of enemies. So a lot of lawyers have criticized us and said that I actually should go to jail for something called unauthorized practice of law. And we've also annoyed a lot of powerful people. We did one thing to help refugees claim asylum in the US. The head of the KKK, David Duke, was tweeting at me saying, it's horrific what you're doing, it's a disgrace. So we annoy lots of people, but we don't let it hinder what we do. Yeah, so a blogger picked up on DoNotPay, and really it was just to help a few family and friends just like fight their parking tickets, but a blogger picked up on it, and it turns out that it's a global scam and everyone hates parking tickets. She covered it, and then every media outlet in the UK and then eventually the US was phoning me up trying to cover it. The two things I learned is, firstly, it's worth being confident. I was so stuttery and terrible in the initial interviews. And the second thing I learned is that agreeability and confidence go hand in hand. It's never good to be evasive or argumentative. You can just respond in a relaxed way, and then that gives you even more confidence to go forward. So all of this media came out, and then I got this invitation, do you want to speak at this conference? And I thought, sure, how bad could it be? It came closer and closer to the time, and I realized the audience is 1,000 people. In that particular speech, it was also a terrible speech, but then in subsequent speeches it got better and better and better. So I think what I would say to everyone is, no one remembers your failures, but people will remember how you are consistently, so you should just keep pushing yourself, and then eventually it will work. The last thing that you should do if you're interested in entrepreneurship is take a class in entrepreneurship. I feel like a lot of people want to do it scientifically, and that will never work. It's all about finding a problem that really affects you and solving it for yourself, and then trying to scale that for other people. So I think everyone should be an entrepreneur, but only if they do it that way. They definitely shouldn't make notes in class through the lean startup method. I think that you should just find a problem, solve it, and then hopefully the world will sympathize with you and give you resources to make it even bigger.